From the locker room at the M&M Multimedia Studios, this is the Six Man Podcast. When it comes to technology, these guys are running the fast break. Now, straight off the bench to save the game, it's your technology champions, Mike Early and Alex Johnson.
Welcome back to another episode of the Six Man Podcast. I'm here with Alex Johnson, our host. If you want to reach out to us, please feel free to email us or text. Our email is info@sixmanpodcast.com, or you can text us or leave a message at 239-215-4200. So in our previous episodes, we talked about the role of the trusted advisor in business today, Alex. And one of those main roles is helping businesses with their communication, taking it to the next level. As we know, the physical phone system, that PBX, is dead. You know, the major phone manufacturers, Avaya, Cisco, etc., they've raised that white flag and said, we're done. We've surrendered, right? They're literally saying that voice over IP is now the standard.
Well, have you looked at a PBX lately? Have you looked at the features? It's a boat anchor. It's been a boat anchor for years.
Right.
It's just been a matter of organizations adopting what was the VoIP and what is now UCaaS solutions.
That unified communications platform.
Correct.
Right. So when we talk about that, any business can utilize a unified communication. So we have customers that are one-man shops all the way up to, thousands of end user, as we call seats. So in small, medium, or large, customers should utilize a unified communication system to take their business to the next level.
Should at least look at, right? I haven't seen very many instances of our clients or potential clients where a UCaaS wasn't a solid fit.
Right.
Although, there might be that one person out there. However, it's certainly worth its weight in gold to have that conversation as a business owner with your trusted advisor to discuss how does UCaaS bring stability, bring customer experience, bring revenue, bring ROI to my business.
Right. And we've seen that, in the last year.
Time and time again.
Right. The year of the COVID, everybody working remotely. How do you take that boat anchor and move it to the house?
Right.
You just can't do that. Right. And who knows what's going to happen in the future. We're going back to people coming back to the offices, but we do have that hybrid, right? Where people still want to work. Business owners are seeing that, sometimes they get more productivity out of their employees if they're working at home. Right?
Well, the other thing it does, right, it allows companies to hire outside of their marketplace for either customer service or salespeople or whatever positions.
Right.
In essence, if someone's working in Colorado and the company's headquartered in New York, well, that UCaaS system allows them to act as if they're in the same building.
Absolutely.
Right?
They can get talent, the true talent that they need for their business anywhere. Right.
Anywhere.
And we do have a couple customers, insurance agencies that do that, right?
Absolutely.
The customer service rep lives here in Florida. Everyone loves to come to Florida, but sometimes it's just not for them.
Yep.
So they decide, I'm going to go back to Michigan.
Yep.
Well, does that person have to go get another job in Michigan, or can they stay and be a positive influence to that organization, right?
Right.
Because it's hard to find the right people, especially nowadays where...
Well, how about especially after you've spent all that money training an employee,
Right.
an employee's got 2 or 3 years under belt in your organization, and they decide that they need to move back to Michigan because that's where their grandbabies are, right?
Right.
Well, you know what? You let them go, but they're talented. You want to keep them. Well, your UCaaS system allows you to allow employees to sort of do as they want, and with this young talent coming out of college, right? How do you recruit people, right? I know people are always going to say it's money, but how about all the little extras, right? Well, UCaaS is a lot extra in regards to a benefit to not only the organization, but to the employee themselves. I know when I came on board here with Traverse, I had already had experience with RingCentral. My last MSP, we were a RingCentral partner. And you expanded my knowledge of UCaaS here. We use the UCaaS tool deep within our business. Service tickets, text with clients, team shared folders with clients. And it has been phenomenal for us to strategically and efficiently run our business through the UCaaS system.
Right. And business owners can do that, right?
Absolutely.
It allows that employee, whether you want to call them a Gen X or millennium that really doesn't want to have that social interaction at the office like we used to. I mean, I still miss that, right? They want to work from home.
Yes, they do.
You know, that allows everything's on the mobile, everything's, you know, on the fly. You know, if they decide they want to go work in Mexico on the beach, well, this allows them to do that job for them.
Right, absolutely.
Not that I want my employees working on a beach in Mexico.
I guess I better go cancel my plane tickets.
The customer experience.
Yeah.
Right. That's the most important aspect of a business owner, right? They want to make sure how they communicate to their customers, whether that customer wants to talk to them via email, text, messaging, faxing, or the phone, right? They want to be able to, social media, that type of stuff. They want to be able to do that. They want it to be all encompassing. And that's what a unified communication.
Yeah, what do they call that?
platform is.
Unilateral? Is that right? Doesn't RingCentral use that word in some of their advertising, right?
Right. So our guests today come from the #1 unified communications platform in the world.
Actually rated, if not mistaken, 6 years in a row in the Gartner Magic Quadrant. They've been the #1 UCaaS provider.
The leader
right? Worldwide. Absolutely.
So today we're bringing in communication legend and RingCentral's regional manager, partner manager for Florida, Tyson Clark. He knows everything when it comes to communications. I've worked with him in the past at another company. He was 2019 Rookie of the Year for RingCentral. Joining Tyson is Paula Freeman-Clark. No relation. She is the manager of Partner Enablement, global coaching and training at RingCentral since 2019. She was awarded Channel Pop Star and Channel Champion of 2020. Please welcome Tyson Clark and Paula Freeman-Clark. Welcome.
Hey, welcome, guys.
Hey, thank you.
It seems RingCentral's catching up to the New England Patriots there with our streak, I guess, huh?
Oh God, I'm sick. Hey, bro, it's a 6-man podcast. Nothing about the gosh darn Patriots.
I'm going to tell you right now. Come on. Winners are winners, right?
You're only as good as your last season, right?
Sure. What does the Browns do?
Last season?
Yeah.
Better than the Patriots.
Yeah, but what did they do?
No. Oh, well, went further than the Patriots.
Yeah. Did they win?
More than the Patriots.
Yeah, okay. How many rings they got?
No, last year. We're not going past it. Yeah.
Okay. We see, as Alex alluded to, RingCentral is the leader of the Magic Quadrant, the Bid Report. You guys are ranked everywhere. So why?
I was going to say, I think Paula can take this one. I think really what it comes down to, it's not just one single thing. There's so many different factors that go into why RingCentral is successful and why our customers choose RingCentral and why we have so many great partnerships. I really think it really comes down to hitting every spot in the spectrum of things that a provider is going to want to hit, really, right? It's not just about, where you're rated with Gartner, where you're rated on this scale. It's really that our customers speak. And when they speak, we listen. And I think that's one of the big keys. But I'll let Paula go a little deeper into why, or to answer the question as to why.
Tyson, I couldn't agree with you more. When I think of when a customer decides to make a big change, right, to go to unified communications, it's not something physically they can hold on to any longer. So they're looking for a company that has a lot of tenure in this space, right? So 20 plus years of research and development, understanding what unified communications is, understanding how important security is in this space, and really, really speaking the language of the customer. So how do we continue to make this easy for them? How do we continue to bring in the latest in research and development and technologies that are really shaping the future of communication, And so, I know taking a look at research and development, just to kind of take this piece alone, RingCentral takes 90% of its profits and they put it back into research and development every single year. And Alex, you spoke about that just a moment ago. You talked about that visionary piece kind of moving to the right on the Gartner Magic Quadrant. And for me, the ability to execute is important, but the visionary piece for UCaaS is huge because technology changes constantly, right? I mean, it always seems like that by the time you buy something, no matter what it is, it's already outdated. So how do you keep things going? How do you keep above the curve? And, looking into security, RingCentral just recently, acquired a new security company to make sure that we were at every single level Kendite, so that we are making certain that people can sleep well at night, right? They don't want that on their minds. Video, just added 100 new features to our video platform, keeping up with this technology. Digital customer service. I think it was either Mike, you brought that up, or Alex a little bit earlier, is making sure that we've got all the right technology, not only for our internal customers, but for our external customers. So I could go on and on and on about why RingCentral.
Right.
Well, I think what it really comes down to is that RingCentral is truly a technology company, right? We are a technology-based company, whereas there might be some smaller PBX vendors that are out there that are spinning up different types of PBXs in the cloud, so to speak. And they're phone vendors, right? They're the phone company. And that's really not the way that we look at RingCentral. RingCentral overall is just a technology first company. And that's really what I believe the shift in customers has really come to, is the fact that technology really does lead every single thing that we do. And you both had touched on the fact that you hire somebody, they move back to Michigan. Do we keep them? Do we let them go? And when the pandemic hit, RingCentral was ready, and our customers were ready. And it wasn't something where somebody had to flip a switch. Somebody didn't have to run down the hallway and pull levers. It was just a matter of, this is what we do. And it's that built-in disaster recovery plan. It's that peace of mind that customers can have, knowing that if they bring a new person on board, they can have them up and running same day. So I think there's a lot of, like we had mentioned, there's so many different factors, but I think it's the biggest driving factor is exactly what Paula discussed.
So you brought up the PBX, right? I mean, Avaya, Cisco, they've as I said, have the white flag is raised, right? I mean, it's dead, right? I mean, it's Vince Carter. It's been around forever. It's a Vince Carter NBA career type longevity. But UCaaS has got a 20-point lead with 2 minutes left. What do you think is the primary move away from the PBX towards the UCaaS or Unified Communications?
I think it's exactly what we just touched on, right? It's the fact that no matter what your circumstances are, when you're in a unified communications setting or solution, you're covered. Whether it's disaster, right? You're on the West Coast and you're dealing with fires, or you're dealing with earthquakes, and you're where I'm at, which is sunny South Florida, right? We've got 6 months out of the year that we're braced and ready for any type of hurricane to potentially come about. It's just that being ready, being able to communicate, work from anywhere, do the things that you need to do. If you needed to do it from a cell phone with a truly unified communication solution, you're prepared for anything. And I think it's the big difference between having an on-premise PBX that has to have connectivity all throughout. And I mean, you start to see that the dollars start to add up on that as well. Go ahead, Paula.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was just thinking as you talked there, Tyson, is mobility, right? This is the big piece here, is the mobility piece. And as we continue to stay hybrid, and as the company flexes, because they're going to see a lot of growth, or they're going to see employees that come, go, depending on how their company structure is how do I keep the culture of my company alive, right? How do I keep everything to where we can see each other? And that's a huge part of the culture piece here. How do I make it easy to bring on new employees that are in Florida or everywhere? And so the UCaaS really embraces this. It's that flexibility. It's the reliability piece. It's having the latest and the greatest technology that can be pushed instantly right to your hybrid workforce. Or, Mike, I love an office as well. I've been a remote employee for about 7 years. I mean, full on remote employee. But when I came on with RingCentral a couple of years ago, the culture in the office is electric. It was really the thing that made me move from 16 years at a very large telecom company to start over again. And being able to find the right balance no matter how big or how small you are, you're still going to have companies that want to have that in-office presence, but to be able to still feel and work and communicate with your teammates all over the world. I've got teammates that are in Germany, in the UK. I've got some in the Philippines, some in Florida, right? So we're all over the place, but it doesn't feel like we've missed a beat. And I think that that's where we're seeing that the difference in where technology can take your company from PBX, right, is not having to just forward phone calls. It's really being able to embrace and use all these tools.
Awesome. Well, the coach just called a timeout, so we are going to take a small break here to
say a little nice word to our sponsors.
Hello.
Hello never sounded so good with RingCentral, the leading provider of business cloud communications. Our powerful, easy-to-use platform provides secure and reliable business communications at your fingertips. Easily manage and route your calls, message your team, switch to video, communicate, collaborate, and connect via any mode, any device, and any location. Make RingCentral your MVP. Message, video, and phone together. RingCentral. Work together from anywhere. No team can win a championship without a good six-man. Now back to your technology champions, Alex and Mike.
Welcome back to the Sixth Man Podcast. Today we are going to continue speaking to our guests, Paula Freeman-Clark and Tyson Clark, no relation, from RingCentral. So, Paula and Tyson, again, thanks for being with us here today. This next question is a two-part question. So if you'll be patient with me here for a second. So the first part is, how does RingCentral maintain their competitive differences from their competition? And then secondly, what are the key things? And I mean this broadly, right? Not just in terms of RingCentral, but what are some of the main things customers need to look at when they're choosing the right UCaaS provider for their organization?
I think the thing that really makes RingCentral stand out is, when we talked a little bit about it a moment ago, is how many years we've been doing this. We didn't just jump on the bandwagon. We just didn't get on the Gartner Magic Quadrant this year because of the pandemic, right? You're seeing some new players in the field. We understand telephony. We understand cloud PBX. We understand video. We understand putting everything together under one pane of glass. We understand that it takes a lot of money to continually stay up and to the right. So when you talk about differentiators, it's where do you take a look at where companies are investing their dollars. Take a look at the partnerships they have. Honestly, we started with partners as a company. We appreciate our technology partners. We understand what they bring to the table, how they can enhance an overall experience. It's not just the one product, it's the whole entire technology stack ecosystem. And that's where the partnerships are very, very important. And even companies, you talk a lot about, Atos and AT&T and Alcatel-Lucent and Avaya, right? They've tried really hard for a long time to do cloud PBX and to do UCaaS, and they couldn't. So they partner with RingCentral, right? So that we carry that load for them. So what you're looking for is a company that is not only seen as the industry as a leader, but as other huge technology companies, when they are looking for the right choice, the right partnership, they go with somebody that they can stake their reputation on. And that is important, with everything that's happening right now. Do your research. And I'm going to knock on wood here, but don't be in the news. Don't be in the news for anything, right? Only good things, right? So, and when it comes to security or customer service experiences or anything that's going on here, so that's one of the, I would say, if you're kind of looking into a UCaaS provider, what are you looking for here? Those would be things. To have that consultation with you, that's number one, right? Is their trusted technology advisor to see.
Yeah, and going with the sports theme, I'm a big sports guy myself, but going with the sports theme, a football team doesn't win the Super Bowl with one or two folks. right? And a lot of times when you're dealing with vendors, it's important to choose the team and choose the right team. And that's what you get with RingCentral right from the very start, right? Whether you're a customer that's just calling in or whether you're brought by one of your trusted advisors or a partner of RingCentral, there's a team aspect to the entire process, right? My role is a regional partner manager. So I support all of our partners in the South Florida region. So when a partner brings a potential client our way, we've got a sales executive that is assigned to that lead, and it's based on segments, right? So customer or employee size, it's based on vertical. And that team continues all throughout. Those account executives have solutions engineers that are pulled in. We've got teams that just go layers and layers and layers deep that will stick with that customer all throughout, because as we know, it's not just about dealing with a single sales rep, getting a solution in place, and it automatically works. There's a lot of energy and a lot of effort, planning, discussions that go into this. And part of that is the reason why our customers are happy, why our customers are with us for 10 plus years. It's just the simple fact that we designed the right solution for the customer right there before we do anything as far as moving forward with an installation. It's just making sure that all of the customer's needs are met. And I think that's why we keep reinventing ourselves and why we continuously become or stay at the top of the leaderboard. Is just the time and the energy and the care that goes into the team initiative and the team project.
Yeah, I can attest to that. Since we started with RingCentral, you selling your product, the different features and functionalities of your platform has changed, and it constantly changes. Literally on a quarterly basis, you guys are adding new and exciting aspects and features to your platform. Sometimes better than others, but
one of the unique things I've really learned to love about the RingCentral product is the fact that your mobile app and your desktop app work identical, right? If you're using the same app, I know you have a couple different apps, but if you're using the new app on both the phone and on the PC, it's identical. There's that learning curve is so much easier. Our clients adapt to the RingCentral product so much easier than any other UCaaS that we've ever let them even look at. It's amazing, and it has worked phenomenally for us. And you could tell that the R&D is a primary point with RingCentral, because your products are just second to none.
Yeah, it's a constant.
I was just going to say, Alex, to your point, as far as easy goes, I think that's the one thing that, as we talk to customers all over the world, is the kind of the pushback a little bit is, oh man, I'm just really concerned about teaching, my staff or my whole company something new, right? And even though they understand that they don't know what they don't know yet, right? Or they haven't tested it, they haven't tried it, they don't use it. And I will say I was that same person when I worked for that other large telecom company, is I thought that the tools were perfect until I got tools that really kind of went more into that perfect realm, right? And what you say is, because it is so simple, it helps to take that concern, Mary really likes this and Joe really likes that, and, Pablo really likes this. So I don't want to, disrupt the apple cart here, but try it. At least take a look at it to see how simple it is. And then, oh my goodness,
the other day, one of our clients stopped me and we were talking, and he's an older gentleman and maybe not the most technical savvy. And he was bragging to me about some of the mobile features, and I just kind of laughed. And I said, no, you just bought this for your team, right? Didn't your team, all your guys and gals on your team, they loved the software and the RingCentral interface? And he said they loved it from the get-go. He said, but I'm loving it even more because the productivity, the after hours, and clients reaching out if there's a trouble ticket or something. They're very large property managers down here in Florida. I mean, thousands of properties. So getting phone calls all hours of the day and night, right? On mobile device, on a handset, right? And so they decided to go RingCentral because they have the ability to decide the call flow, the ability to take the call wherever they are in the world. And we have added extreme efficiencies with your product to their organization, and it has been a huge home run. So that's just one of the latest. Bumped into him in the store, and he just wanted to brag on RingCentral. So thank you for that.
let's talk about, I'm a business owner. I just drafted RingCentral onto my team, right? I signed you.
Oof, that signing bonus was big because that's the number one pick.
Right. I got a number one pick. I brought you on. Let's talk about the processes and procedures that bringing a new customer on board. How does RingCentral ensure that the customer gets exactly what they need and trained the right way?
Well, it kind of goes to what I just touched on. It's actually a good segue. Is the sense that it's just the mere fact that this isn't just here's a paper contract, here are the services you're going to get, sign, and let's roll. Right? It's not even close to how it works. The majority of our partners, they're trusted advisors of the customer themselves, right? So they may be MSPs for the customer, an IT vendor, the customer, just general consultant. But they're fully involved in the process from start to finish and continuing on throughout. So, we have conversations with the client, we have conversations with the partner, we figure out, are there integrations? We just basically try to check all of the boxes of the customer's needs. And then once we check those boxes, it's a matter of, okay, now here's what else we can do. Understanding use cases, right? Understanding that insurance companies operate completely different than a law office would act, right? Or operate. So, you've got that team right out of the gate. Now you introduce the solutions engineers. Now you introduce the design folks, right? We do statement of work orders, which are these big Excel spreadsheets. And again, it's checking the box. It's making sure that all the pieces are in place so that when it's time to actually activate a client, we have everything ready to go, pre-built, ready to put in place. And I think that's a big key to being a business owner and getting from, essentially getting the wheels off of the ground. I would also say that, a lot of it comes down to just education as well, right? And education never ends. I'll tell my 6-year-old son that. He's in kindergarten. He asks, when am I going to college, right? It will never end, no matter when you're out of college. And that's why every one of our customers, no matter how small or large, they all have an account manager. And that account manager works with the customer, works with the partner, works with the end users to ensure that they're up to speed with all of the new products that are out. Any training that is needed, we can set that up very quickly. And it's just that ongoing process and that hands-on approach that RingCentral takes with every client.
And then you also have the RingCentral University.
Oh, yeah.
And there are thousands and thousands of white papers and videos. And I mean, those are at your fingertips, right? And a lot of us like to learn at our own pace. So I go in, I search a topic, I can learn on that topic specifically. And of the 7,000 employees, like Tyson said, that we have worldwide, 80% of them are customer facing. And it's a huge investment, I feel like, that, that the company has put into making sure that that you have the right staff. And honestly, our partners, we could not do this without our partners. And the majority of the customer base that comes and signs on to RingCentral, when they go through a partner, their customer satisfaction goes way up. They stay a lot longer. They know they have a trusted advisor that's close by that can really help them out. It's just an additional layer of support for those customers. And like Alex said earlier, it's so intuitive. The software itself is so intuitive. I was doing a training and it was with a very skeptical group of folks that used something else. And they were like, wow, after a little while, once they kind of brushed off some of that, that hard shell that they had going on, they were like, the software almost makes you want to use it or want to be productive with it. And that was a really big compliment, to hear, because it's very, very simple to use. Simple to use, however, the functionality is very powerful. Yeah.
I want to talk about the last segment before we end here is, and I think it's a very important aspect of the RingCentral platform, is the integrations that you have into all the different CRMs and applications that are out there that other businesses utilize to make their business more efficient.
When I came to training for the first time, I raised my hand and I said, hey, I have a question. What do we tell customers or what do we tell partners when they ask us, can you integrate with X? And the answer was simple, yes. And I said, that can't be. And the answer truly is yes, as long as we've got access to the APIs of whatever that CRM or application is that the customer is trying to use, we can build that. We've got a lot of integrations out of the box that are ready to go. Salesforce, obviously, Zoho are some of the big names out there. It's already there. It is there. It's ready to go. But we can actually take a custom CRM that someone built for a specific company to do certain things, and we can build those integrations. What is it that, just taking through the customer through some questions, right? What are you trying to accomplish? Is it screen pops? Is it click to dial? Is it automatic this or automatic that? And it's just a matter of building that with our integrations teams. And we've got over 2,000 different folks that we can reach out to help us out with building these integrations.
Wow. That's incredible. Well, I hate to tell everybody this. The coach has taken our final timeout. So that is going to have to be a wrap.
Well, we got one extra question for both of you. Are you ready?
We're ready.
Okay. Who is in your opinion, the best basketball player of all time?
Oh man, I'm really loving the Joker right now. And I don't know if he's the greatest of all time, but since I'm in Denver and I'm a Nuggets fan, I'm really loving what Jokic is doing for the team. So
yeah, absolutely. Good choice.
Yeah.
Man, I'm going to make it a tough answer for y'all because I think you have to look into eras, right? Because in my opinion, you got Larry Bird or you got Michael Jordan from that era that were just phenomenal basketball players. And in this area, obviously the King, right? King James is amazing. But they're two completely different games than what they used to be, right?
You're right.
Absolutely.
So that's kind of a two-part question or a two-part answer, I would say. I would go with Michael Jordan and LeBron James, hands down.
Well, thank you so much for this. We really appreciate your partnership that we have with you. We appreciate you joining us. And hopefully maybe we'll have you back on in a future podcast.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thanks,
guys.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you. Mike, thanks again for another great episode, buddy.
Yeah, thank you. All right. See you later.
All right, buddy. Peace out.
Thanks for listening. If you'd like to contact us, reach out at 239-215-4200. That's 239-215-4200. Or email us at info@sixmanpodcast.com. This segment of the Six Man Podcast is brought to you by the production team and M&M Multimedia. At M&M, we make media that makes you learn, laugh, cry, or buy.